Hello everybody. Today's video is all about how to not take things personally. And this is going to happen when you're putting yourself out there personally, romantically, professionally, creatively, socially, you name it. Whenever you're putting yourself outside of your comfort zone and really expressing yourself, then you're opening yourself up to the opinions of others. And others are oftentimes emotionally driven in sharing their opinions, and oftentimes at the expense of your own feelings. So the intention is to take this in, to learn and grow from it, and I've jotted down 8 different points on how to best do so, in my opinion. So let's get into it. Number 1, we are perfectly imperfect, with room for growth. Let's recognize that we don't have all the answers, and in fact, we are actually dependent upon the insights of others. And with this, we are able to grow into better versions of ourselves. By remaining true to this growth mindset, that there is always room for improvement, both in ourselves and with others, then we're able to find comfort in that process of recognizing where we currently are and understanding that we are on a journey towards self and collective improvement. And this is just feedback data that's here to aid you in the directions that you're choosing to take. And so with this, when others share their opinions, how to not take it personally is to recognize that others are also perfectly imperfect. They may be sharing their thoughts in a way that is projecting their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions within. And they're doing so without any consideration for how you feel taking this in. Maybe they're sharing their thoughts not for constructive criticism, but because they want to feel better getting this off their chest. By finding passion for others, especially in these times, we are able to not only draw ourselves more closely to them, but we are able to take in what they're saying and how they've come to be in the position of wanting to say this to begin with. And we can begin to understand more about themselves, and with this understanding, you're only going to improve upon your ability to empathetically connect with others, and that will carry you far in life. So there's a feedback loop here, where others are sharing their truths in ways that are potentially harmful to us, but we're able to dwell in the compassion that we have for them through an understanding of how they've gotten to this point now. And with this compassion, we're able to, again, more fully understand where they're coming from, and with this understanding, we're able to have even more compassion and more empathy for them and for others. So moving on, let's, in the same vein, focus on extracting lessons whenever there's this kind of information or judgment or criticisms or what have you coming your way. Focus on the bigger picture here and recognize that these lessons that are being shared to you are potentially arising in other points of your life. Let's say somebody that's close to me is going in on me, saying things that they don't like and how I'm this or that or the other. Instead of attaching myself to the emotions that are being brought up within, or the emotions that are being shared on this person's face, instead I can focus on the words that are coming out. Instead of how they're coming out, I can focus on the actual words and objectively try to understand whether this is based in logic or based purely in emotion. If it's based purely in emotion, then we can see through the distraction and we can remain detached. But if there is a cutting edge to this that is based in objective reality, then what better to do than to actually learn from this? Yes, you can remain detached from the emotional component, but you might as well take this information and try to grow from it, because you're in this situation for a reason. And the next point is, again, very similar, is what good comes from taking it personally? Really think about it. In what situation have you recognized when someone is taking their anger out on you, and you recognize it, and you recognize how you feel when you're taking this in, and you have 2 choices. One is you can go down to that level of low vibrational frequency and counter them in their same kind of tone or anger or what have you, or you can do the complete opposite of that and float above it. You can take it in and you can reject any compulsive feelings, to throw any emotions back right their way, and instead you can simply elevate yourself below that low state of emotion. taking anything personally requires one to be in the mindset of stagnation. Think about it. Whenever we are taking something personally, then that means that a truth in someone's eyes means that is a truth that's stuck with us. There's no way of growing beyond and becoming a better version of ourselves. If you're taking someone's criticism of you and you're using it to propel yourself to a better state of being, then you're not taking it personally and dwelling upon it and letting it negatively affect you. No, you're using it as criticism to boost yourself up to who you need to be, or at least who you want to be. And this is done easily when one takes a third person point of view. Let's say you're in an argument with somebody, or at least they're flinging their emotions your way. When it comes time to understanding the words that are coming out without becoming emotionally attached, try to take a third person point of view and recognize what is the case if they are correct, and what happens if they're right. Just as the judicial system says we are innocent until proven guilty, let's take others' words and criticisms and statements about us to be true until proven otherwise. That way, we are hearing everyone out without immediately becoming defensive and hardening our shell. And while doing so, let's recognize how we feel when we're taking it in. Your feelings will illuminate the path forward, and only you will be able to recognize if something is based on logic or if something is low-key true that hurts to hear but you know is accurate. Those statements you do not want to ignore. You want to face those head on, and that's the next point, is address their complaints head on without any waste of time or energy, without any indecision or doubt bringing about fear in yourself. You want to address the problems that arise and take fault when needed. Alright, my concluding point is to reflect often and deeply so that there's no new news. You recognize the critiques of others because you've gone within, you've brought your own flaws to the surface, and you've already set up actionable steps to find balance within and overcome those flaws that you've self-identified. The take-home message today is to put yourself out there, personally, romantically, professionally, creatively, socially. Do so without holding anything back. Let your true character come to the surface, and let others express themselves wholeheartedly, and create the environment that encourages just that, so that there's growth without any friction within or collectively. And by doing so, we are elevating as a unit towards the ideal destination. That is all I can think of for the time being, so leave any additional comments in the section below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you.